As dawn broke on January 15, 1991, Saddam had until midnight to pull his forces out of Kuwait. No one expected him to move. The world held its breath and waited. Far from withdrawing, the Iraqis moved massive reinforcements into Kuwait and dug a formidable series of fortifications all along the Kuwaiti-Saudi border. Media pundits talked knowledgeably about the Iraqi berms or sand walls, backed by anti-tank ditches and minefields. These were supported by entrenched troops and dug-in armor and artillery. Making a frontal assault would be ruinously expensive for the coalition troops. But the war did not start on the ground. The extensive Iraqi fortifications did them no good at all. On the night of January 16th, 17th, the skies of Baghdad lit up as Iraqi gunners blasted at targets they could not see. Explosions ripped through the night as American F-117A stealth fighters and BGM-109 Tomahawk cruise missiles hit with pinpoint accuracy Iraqi command and communications targets, beginning the process of cutting Saddam Hussein off from his armies. Operation Desert Shield had now become Operation Desert Storm. Tomahawk cruise missiles are essentially pilotless aircraft equipped with 1,000-pound warheads. Despite their high profile, the effectiveness of cruise missiles in the Gulf War has never been publicly established. The Department of Defense released thousands of pages of statistics about virtually every aspect of the war in the Persian Gulf. Yet about the cruise missiles, the Pentagon remained oddly silent. In its final report to Congress, the Department of Defense would say only that cruise missiles had a launch success rate of 98%. What percentage of Tomahawks hit and destroyed their targets remains classified. But there are clues that seem to indicate that cruise missiles weren't as effective as the public believes. The General Accounting Office cited one post-war analysis that suggests that half the missiles never reached their intended targets. According to two different reports, cruise missiles that struck the Iraqi Air Defense Operations Center in Baghdad left only small craters in its roof. That's why 3/4 of all the missiles used in the Gulf were launched in the first 3 days of the war, and none were fired after February 1st. Even with shortened operations, the U.S. fired more than $380 million worth of cruise missiles at Iraq. At 2:30 a.m. Saudi time, 10 stealth fighters slipped out of Saudi airspace into Iraq. Silently, their computerized navigation systems guided them through the half-hour flight to downtown Baghdad. Flying undetected over the city, a slight press of buttons on pilots' control sticks delivered laser-guided bombs to crucial targets such as early warning radar control centers, radio towers that formed the nucleus of Saddam's communications network, and the air defense headquarters. In a matter of minutes, the heart of Saddam's air defense was cut out. Stealth pilots skirted through a lethal barrage of anti-aircraft artillery from below, but they kept their bombs on target. In only 15 minutes, they guided their invisible planes above the flak and then headed for home. The opening round had gone precisely as planned.
It was definitely more exciting than I'd anticipated. They shot more bullets than I thought were ever made. It was an experience that you almost have to go through to explain. And when the shooting started, when the word came that it was time to go and do what we do best, I thought we were very well prepared, very well trained, very well practiced, and you just had to revert back to your old habit patterns, pretend the threats weren't there, and just do the job that had to be done.
The F-117 stealth fighter was developed secretly during the Carter administration. It was able to move through Iraqi airspace virtually undetected. In Baghdad, Iraqi air defense didn't know they were under attack until the first bomb landed.
Desert Storm was the first, what I would call the first modern war, and what the Army might call the last ancient war, the last war of the industrial age. It was an industrial war. That's probably a better formulation. And I thought of it as the first war of the space age.
The Black Jet showed phenomenal accuracy, delivering 2,000-pound laser-guided bombs through doorways and down ventilation holes to destroy underground bunkers. By doing so, they were gaining the upper hand in the air over the battlefield.